Yo, what is going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of Saturday Night Locals match review version. This is episode 71. We are still piling the Photon Galaxy deck. This is probably going to be like the last week that I covered the deck. I know there's been a lot of content around it lately, but that's just the deck that I've been vibing with lately, having a lot of fun playing at tournaments. And, you know, surprisingly doing well with it. The only thing I think that's been faulting me lately is my just inherently bad technical play, and also the fact that this deck is very hard to play. I've said it several times on the channel before. I think this deck is very difficult to play, and here we are playing against Exosisters. There's one thing in this match in particular that I think I really made a big mistake on, and we'll get to that when we get to that point. But you can see in the opening hand here, I have Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon, Summoner, Afterglow, Expedition, and one other card there, which is a Galaxy Wizard. So we open up two normal summons really bad. We really only have one way to play, that's normal summon Wizard if that gets stopped, which the Exosister deck has plenty of ways to put up spot removal. You know, it's going to be kind of rough for us. That's one of the reasons why in some of my past builds I've been playing one Wizard, because a lot of times when you want to get to Wizard, you can search it off of Galaxy Soldier, because again, I've said it in the past, Galaxy Soldier is only as good most of the times as the things it's able to grab for you, and it's very limited in terms of Galaxy Extenders. I think the Galaxy Photon deck needs a very, very good Galaxy Monster. We don't need any more Photon Monsters. We need things like Galaxy Wizard and Galaxy Soldier just to be inherently better cards for the deck, and right now they are really kind of lackluster, but we got to play them because that's all we really have. But you know, so like if you're hard opening Galaxy Wizard, it makes the Soldier search a little awkward, and your really only card to grab sometimes is like the Brave, or unless you've already got like an Emperor set up, then you're grabbing your Galaxy Summoner. So, you know, I've thought several times about just playing one Wizard. I'm currently playing two, and I'm only playing two just because the deck is lacking starters. But although I am playing Pot of Prosperity again, maybe I don't need it. Well, I actually cut both Prosperity and Trade in because I just cannot make up my mind. And there will be a new deck profile coming down the line for an updated Photon Galaxy deck as we kind of put it back up on the shelf as we head to different decks. So my opponent does end on the Michaelis with 3 set. We know one of them to be the Returnia, I believe, and we draw a Galaxy Hunter for turn, which is pretty great. It's about as good as you can get, I guess. It's kind of lackluster in this situation because we lost Iroh. We don't have any way to really break the opponent's board. All we're dealing with is just Engine here, and honestly the entire play would just end if you use the trap card just to banish the Galaxy Wizard right here. We really wouldn't have a single play. I mean, I guess we'd have a play, right? We'd have the ability to go ahead and dump Jumper and search the Galaxy Trance, right, and try to go for that, but that's a really risky Hail Mary play. So surprisingly enough here, my opponent decides to let the Expedition go through. Nothing happens on the Wizard summon here. Now, I get a little greedy here. A lot of times I try to combo through my names. It's just, again, I don't know what it is. It's a combination of a couple of things, right? So I go ahead and bring out the Galaxy Soldier here. Now I'm like, okay, I've got another body. What card do I want off of this? You know what I mean? And this is another thing, right? What great cards could be searched here off of Galaxy Soldier, right? It's literally just Brave or Summoner at this point. There isn't really too many great extenders, and like Brave's not that great of extender to begin with. I think what I should have done here, if I'm being totally honest, is just summon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon straight up from the deck and made like maybe Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon to threaten a Snatch Steal on his Xyz monster. Maybe that would have been much better. Maybe just kind of like cut corners, not necessarily cut corners, but kind of just cut directly to what I'm trying to do. And, you know, force out some of his cards. And as the Galaxy Hunter eats an Ash Blossom there, is really unfortunate. Now the hand is losing a lot of steam. You know, we don't have a whole lot that can be done here, and you can already kind of tell that the fact if I would have brought the Galaxy Soldier out, or not the Galaxy Soldier, sorry, if I would have brought Galaxy Eyes out off of that, it would have been much better. I could have played Galaxy Hunter first as well. Maybe force out the Ash there to maybe secure like the Expedition going through. Then we get a rip out of the extra deck, right, to hit at least one of his key cards, maybe a Zeus or something else. And then we're going to summon out the Brave. And then he's got Book of Moon here, which is kind of tough. He's going to go ahead and book the Brave. You want to know if it had any way to change its stats. It does, but we don't have any Galaxy monsters in our graveyard just yet. So he books this. I do scoop here because I know he still has like the Exosister trap, and you know he might have Vadis and Returnia, both of them. And there's just no way we're playing through that right now. Like the Galaxy Wizard search here is next to useless. There's no great Galaxy card that we couldn't grab here that's going to do a whole lot. I guess you could argue Hyper Galaxy could be good, right? Tributing that off, grabbing Hyper Galaxy, then activating Hyper Galaxy, tributing Soldier, targeting Michaelis, and then summoning Afterglow. But I just don't know if that would really pan out super well. And I'm actually kind of curious, as I do scoop it up here, just because there's no way, with the current cards that I had left there, that we were getting through that. I want to just pull up the traps. So Returnia says, all monster controller, Exosister. Yeah, so you can only use that one if you have an Exosister, and the other one does not require you to have an Exosister monster. So, yeah, I don't think it mattered regardless there what we were able to search off that. So we go into game 2. Trade-in is going to go ahead and send off a Therion King Regulus because I didn't want to discard my potential only discard at the time pre-trade-in to be like my only play to use Soldier. So I didn't want to get rid of the Afterglow in case I didn't draw on any light monsters. Otherwise, keeping the Regulus would have been a little bit more enticing. And that's sometimes the one downside about trade-in. Sometimes you have to make like risky plays with the trade-in just to get it to go through. For example, if all you had is Galaxy Soldier and a Galaxy Eyes, you know, you could trade in first and then risk not drawing a light, or you could just kind of play in a way that gets you to a Galaxy Eyes, which might lead to a bit of an awkward play line. It is what it is. So this is a big play that happens here. So I'm going to pause right now. And so what's happened here is we've used the trade-in to kind of fuel our hand up. We draw into Vanisher, Galaxy Eyes, and we go Galaxy Soldier, discard the what is it? It's the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that searches a Summoner here, and I find a lot of times Summoner ends up just being a better card to search in these situations, because we're going to try to bring back the Galaxy Eyes to get a free level 8 on board, and he has Ghost Bell, and I decided to use the Triple Tactics talent here because why not use it before we go any further. And he has Martha, Prosperity, Dark Ruler, and he has, I think that is Ellis in hand. And I decide not to hit the Dark Ruler back into the deck. And immediately after I think I hit Prosperity. And after not hitting the Dark Ruler, I was just like, what was I thinking? It was just one of those moments, like a play that you make in the moment. And then after the fact, you're just like, what the hell am I doing right now? I don't even have any way to explain why I didn't just hit the Dark Ruler. My end board is just going to auto lose the Dark Ruler anyways. And, you know, I can at least negate the Prosperity, and I can negate the Martha, and just kind of leave them, have a really good top deck, because of this board I could set up here can be number 38 and number 90, and obviously number 90 searching as the follow-up. So I did have a way to stop both the Prosperity and the Martha from resolving, and that puts him on have another name to go with the, I think the Ellis that he has in his hand there. I think that's Ellis. So I totally misplayed here. Big L play. So let's hop back in 3, 2, 1. And the reason I'm counting down to the start and stop is the way I'm editing this, so the video quality isn't super rough for the actual playback. So yeah, I hit the Prosperity. I'm like, big brain. We'll hit the Prosperity back. That's just like such a terrible play. This wasn't locked in the slightest right here for this game. First game of locals. First game, you know. It just wasn't locked in. I don't know how else to describe it. So now I'm just thinking like, okay, there's a Dark Ruler in his hand. What am I supposed to do here? This is another situation where you could argue where like if I was still playing Eternal Galaxy in the side deck, which I've just decided to cut outright for like D-Barrier, which is just I think 10,000 times better. Just because if we get Dark Rulered and we're playing against Exosister and we D-Barrier them and we call Xyz, like sure our Xyz monsters don't do anything, but he literally can't play. And then we just OTK him on the next turn. I still have Judgment in the side deck, which I've since cut. I don't think Judgment is that great of a side deck card in here anymore. I think instead of trying to trade 1-for-1 Judgment for Dark Ruler or for normal summons, which isn't even like that valuable right now, I can't really think of a single deck off the top of my hand where a Judgment like really hurts it. Especially against the best deck like Kashtira, I don't think Judgment really hurts that deck in the slightest. Especially they just lead Fenrir like, and I guess you could argue you could just like Judgment the Rise Heart, but I think D-Barrier just gets the job done much better, and we're not paying a bunch of life points. So we go ahead and, you know, dump the Photon Jumper, and we grab the Vanisher, Chainlink 1 Vanisher, Chainlink 2 Galaxy Photon Dragon, make it a level 8. And we've got the Expedition in hand, and we can do the Therion play here. You know, where we like Expedition into like a Galaxy Eyes. There's a lot of different things we could do right here. yeah, I decide to bring out Emperor because I have already normal summoned. Yeah, Emperor would be like a little weird right here because just like I don't have another. I hope I don't summon the Emperor. I hope I just summon Galaxy Eyes. I hope I just summon Galaxy Eyes here. Because if I summon Galaxy Eyes, I can summon the Afterglow. I could make like a Felgran or a Cypher X, and then use the Felgran and the Cypher X to use the Afterglow to bring out another Galaxy Eyes, rip the extra deck, and then make a number 90. I mean, we're still getting hit with Dark Ruler. Like, I guess you could argue like like Felgrant in a way kind of helps you play around Dark Ruler, I guess. And this is a stretch, right? As we take a look at the extra deck here. Looking at big board wipes, you know, I see the Chaos Angel in there, like, you know, some prime suspect one-ofs. Obviously, you got to get rid of the Zeus, just because, like, Zeus is crazy. But yeah, I was going to say, like, Felgrand kind of helps you play around Dark Ruler, because you can Felgrand your number 90 in the draw phase, and then chain your number 90 to search, and then your number 90 is negated, but now it's just unaffected by card effects, period, which may make it, like, harder for them to get over, and you're at least kind of keeping that on your field. And this is when I still had the 107 in my extra deck. The only reason I had 107 in here at this time was because I couldn't get my hands on a Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which was my primary rank up target for Galaxy Photon Dragon in case I get Dark Ruler in this older build, slightly older. But I couldn't. The ulti that I ordered didn't come in on time, so I was just playing a 107 just because. 107 is kind of a neat card, getting over certain things that can't be targeted, right, or destroyed. Go into the battle phase and just mass negate everything. Kind of a nice effect to have there, especially if, like, we're dealing with like things like IP summoned Avermaxes, which isn't like super common, but you know, some Sprite variants maybe going for that, and there are a couple Sprite decks at my locals anyways. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and, you know, I think I ended up passing turn there, and then just Soul Flare, get me a card back, right, number 90. Standby phase, go ahead and search out transfer follow-up. So, like, I know I'm getting Dark Lured now, but, like, I'm at least, you know, putting up... I'm not, like, investing too deeply into a board, like, with that Felgrand play that I was talking about. That would have, like, committed a lot more bodies to the field. But, you know, at least with this way, I have Summoner and I have transfer follow-up, and I at least have number 90 to be able to detach for cost during his turn to attempt to negate something, to summon another Galaxy Eyes, which then triggers Galaxy Hunter to rip another card out of his extra deck. So then he's going to activate Martha here. Now I basically just, like, get comboed because of me not hitting the Dark Ruler, right? So obviously, like, come main phase, obviously he's going to slap down Dark Ruler. So he summons out Martha, summons out Ellis, and then he's going to go into the extra deck here. And, yeah, we're just going to kind of, like I said, get comboed on. I think I could have played this much better. Had I ripped the Dark Ruler out of his hand, I think I could have just ended on number 38. And Felgran, which I wasn't playing Felgran at the time, but I am playing it now. Just because, like, I find with the Therion lines, we are going for, like, we're not going for trans plays as nearly as often. And I think Felgran is just a great card to have, as it pairs really well with the Therion Link, or the Therion Xyz, rather, Gigantic Champion, as it's an easy way to detach. Sometimes it's a little awkward with the number 38 because it doesn't detach to negate a spell. It only detaches in the battle phase when you're using that effect. And number 90 sometimes, like, a lot of times in my testing I found, like, when I'm using number 90 to detach and negate, the bounce or destroy effect of Sargus is not really, like, the best time to go ahead and fire that off. So, like, if you can use it a little bit later on in the turn, maybe it'd be more beneficial. But yeah. So then he's going to go into Michaelis, and I think he goes into... Not sure which one he goes into right now. I think, yeah, that's the Jabroni. And he's going to go ahead and use that here. And I think this is where I attempt to negate. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Jabroni, yeah. Let's see here. If you control this... let's see. If you control this card that was actually summoned this turn, you can target one effect monster controls negates effects. Attachment to this card for this turn, all these monsters you control gain 800 attack. I think that's the effect that he was using. And then I attempted to negate with the number 90, and he just ashes the Afterglow effect. So I was like, all right, he drew Ash for turn. So if we would have, you know, held steadfast through our plan there of hitting the Dark Ruler, no questions asked. He top decks Ash. He has Ash and Ellis. We negate Pot. We negate Martha, and we just win this game here. And now he's gonna go into the what is the big one? I literally just have it pulled up here. Magnifica. And then, yeah, he's going to basically just out the number 9. He's already been outed, right? And then he's going to go ahead and be able to get rid of the Soul Flare. And he basically has a Banish 2 for our next turn. Yeah, when your opponent activates a card or quick effect, card or effect, you can return the 60 summon monster you control. Yeah, okay, once per turn, quick effect, attach card, banish card your opponent controls, and then you can tag out into the Michaelis, which is another banish from field or grave. We draw Trade-in for turn, which is kind of nice. We draw Emperor and Orbital, which is like some pretty decent cards here. The Orbital can help secure us a Galaxy Soldier, which gets us the Emperor in the graveyard. And I'm thinking maybe there is enough gas here to try and go for a game. With the hand, because like that trade and draw was actually pretty clutch. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and there really isn't that much to try to play through right now. I'm gonna go and pause really quickly to change the battery in my camera. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and normal summon the wizard, or not wizard, sorry. Normal summon Summoner. Activate the effect targeting the Galaxy Soldier in the graveyard, because that obviously will get its effect. Do go ahead and search for a Galaxy. And I think Brave should still be in the deck. So Brave is a pretty good target to be able to grab right now, because that can special summon itself out as a level 4, which is kind of nice by revealing the Orbital. And then we can equip the Orbital, and then we can go ahead and grab like Vanisher, and we get another rank 4 play available. We can get access to the like Photon Blast Dragon, which would be kind of nice to go into this field here. And taking a look in our graveyard, yeah, we still have an Expedition there. And again, we have to worry about the Banish. Yeah, once per turn, detach a material from this card, banish 1 card your opponent controls, and then when your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, and you return 1 Xyz monster you own attached to this card to your extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster you control from your extra deck by using this card you control as material. So then we go ahead and use the effect of Summoner, targeting Soldier to make it a level 4. And then he chains the Michaelis, or the Magnifica rather. I keep mixing these cards' name up. And he banishes the Summoner. So I was like, okay, that's fine, because, it's not negating Summoner's effect. It's still a level 4 now. The effect still goes through. And then we go ahead and activate Brave, reveal Orbital. He chains Magnifica to go ahead and tag out into a Michaelis. And then we get the Brave on field as a level 4. So now he has another banish, and then we activate Orbital. And we target the Brave to equip. Now, he could chain the Magnifica to actually banish the target. Or not Magnifica, sorry, the Michaelis. Chain to banish the Brave. That way the Orbital won't equip. I mean, he could also just wait till it's equipped, then banish it, and it's kind of like a 2-for-1. Gets rid of the body and gets rid of the thing, but he gets rid of the Orbital, which is like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Definitely would have been way better there just to banish the Brave, so it's kind of a misplay on his behalf. And right now, we still kind of have a line here. It's really not that great of a line. It's all about just, like, baiting, like, whatever that last set card is. Like, because we need to save Trance in our back pocket as kind of like, last-ditch effort. It sucks, though, because Afterglow is already in the graveyard, so we're kind of limited as to what we can do here. I think the best thing to do would be maybe to, like, link into Soul Flare and then add back... that's kind of rough, too, because we need to be able to add back the Afterglow if we really want to go for a game. I mean, we don't... No, we kind of do need Afterglow here to be able to go for game. And then I think... Yeah, he chains Returnia in response to the Galaxy Trance, and that can banish stuff out of grave, which kind of caught me off guard. It's like I haven't played against Exosister consistently in a long time. I know that sounds like an excuse, which I mean it basically is, but it's not a deck that I played against so much recently. And he has the Returnia anyways, which just like seals in the deal. So I don't think no matter like what we could have done there, like really makes too big of a difference. And then he gets the other effect of the Michaelis there to go ahead and search for a spell or trap. And, yeah, that ends up just being a wrap right there. And I think this is where we just end up scooping him up, and he gives the packs. And I was just a little upset about how this game played out anyways. Like, we should have won this game fair and square by just hitting back the Dark Lure. If you use talents, guys, if you use talents and you're a build-a-board deck like this deck is, and you see a Dark Lure in hand, don't try to make things complicated, right? Don't look too deep into the weeds. Just hit the Dark Ruler. sometimes the simplest answer, right, is the correct answer. And sometimes I tend to like think in circles, and I like I don't know, I convince myself to do things that are like looking back on it, it's like, what was I thinking? Like, the obvious play is just simply just do this, but like I was doing all these mental gymnastics to like try and convince myself, well, maybe I should do this here. Maybe hitting the Pot of Prosperity is fine. But like, yeah, letting the Martha resolve is just a mistake. So that's going to do it, and we eat the L for that. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did. And as always, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And of course, last but not least, I'd like to give a big thank you to our current Divine level channel members who are Misfid, HCH, Cyber, Cadillacs, Pony Stark, and Green. Thank you guys so much as always for your very, very, very kind and extremely generous support of this channel.